Hello and welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, we will be analyzing photosynthesis and cellular respiration in terms of how energy is stored, released, and transferred within and between these systems. We're going to be using Autodesk 123D Design to visualize this concept. I'm going to use a couple of images here to aid in our design. This is the first one and kind of gives us an idea of how we want to visualize this process. But I also found this one, which we will use to create our three-dimensional objects. So we'll be using both to visualize the concept throughout this tutorial. Alright, so we're going to start with the chloroplast. So let's start with a sphere. Let's come up here to the primitives option, click there, and let's select a sphere. Now go ahead and place your sphere here on the plane. Anywhere is fine. And now we're going to increase the size of this sphere so that we can begin to modify it. So we're going to give it a radius of 2. So let's go ahead and click the sphere, and we should get the little dialog here at the bottom. And let's click on Scale. And next to Factor, enter the number 2. The sphere now is twice as large. And let's go ahead and press enter there. Okay, and we also want to click on the sphere again, and let's move it so that it comes up above, sits above our plane, just above it. That looks good. Now what we want to do is we're going to cut a hole in the sphere. If we look at our example here, you can kind of see inside of the chloroplast. So we're going to do the same thing. Let's go ahead and introduce a cube into our scene here. So let's click on Primitives, come down to Box. Okay. And now let's place the box. We can place it anywhere right now. Click there. We're going to leave the cube at its current size. So now we have to position the cube on the sphere. To do that, we're going to use our front view. So let's click on Front. And now let's raise the cube because we want it to go just above the top of the of our sphere here. So let's make sure we click on the cube and then come down and click on Move. Let's place our cursor right on the up arrow and drag it up. Now we need to make sure that it goes just above the top of the sphere here, and we want to make sure that it's also equal on both sides. So if we need to move it over, we can, but that looks good. So now let's turn to the left. Let's look at the left view, and as we can see, we are nowhere near our sphere, so we're going to need to move over. So let's place our mouse cursor on the side arrow here, hold down and drag the sphere, drag the cube, onto the sphere. And let's go in a little ways here. Okay, now we want to make sure we go up because we want the top of the cube to go above the sphere. So let's do that about right there. That looks good. So now we are going to use the box to cut out a space into our sphere. So let's go back to the home view. So click the little house here in the upper right hand corner. Okay, and now we want to go over and select the combined option, and let's go down and select subtract, because we're actually going to subtract the box from the sphere. So click there. It asks you to select your target, solid or mesh. The sphere will be our target solid mesh. Click there. Then it asks for the source mesh, which is the box. So click on the box. And then let's go back to combine and select subtract. And wow, look at that. We've now basically cut a space out in our sphere. Awesome.